Have you ever sat quietly at a family gathering, watching your grown children laugh and talk, only to feel a pang of sadness when they brush off your words or seem too busy to truly listen? If you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, you might have felt this shift. The respect you once had from your children seems to have faded, leaving you wondering where you stand in their lives after all the years you've given them your heart. I've worked with countless seniors across the United States and Canada who've shared this ache, and I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. And more importantly, you can change this dynamic with calm, heartfelt steps that honor your worth. In this video, we'll explore 9 powerful ways to rebuild respect with your adult children, helping you regain the connection and dignity you deserve without arguments or guilt. We'll talk about everything from speaking up with clarity to rediscovering the joy in your own life, all while staying true to the incredible person you are. These steps aren't about forcing respect, they're about inspiring it through your own strength and love, and I'm here to walk you through every step. Let's start this journey together with a focus on the foundation that makes all the difference: your self-respect. Because when you value yourself, others begin to see your worth in a whole new light. Let's begin with part 1, finding strength in your self-respect. Seeing your self-respect with adult children starts with how you see yourself, and that's the foundation we'll build on today. You've given so much: sleepless nights, endless sacrifices, unwavering love to raise your children into the adults they are now. But if you're always putting yourself second, hoping they'll notice your efforts, you might unintentionally signal that your needs don't matter. It's like hiding a treasure in plain sight. No one values it until you show its worth. Maybe you felt this when your advice is brushed off or your words are interrupted, leaving you feeling invisible in the family you built with so much care. But here's the truth: your self-respect can change that dynamic, inviting your children to see you in a new light. By honoring your own worth, saying no when something doesn't feel right, standing tall in your truth, and letting your presence speak for itself, you show them that your time, your voice, and your love are valuable, not something to be taken for granted. It's not about being harsh or distant. It's about showing them the incredible person you've always been. Someone whose wisdom and warmth deserve to be cherished. You might start by gently asserting your needs, like asking for a moment to finish your thoughts without interruption, reminding them that you're not just their parent, but a person with a story worth hearing. When you value yourself this way, your children often begin to mirror that respect, seeing you as the strong, remarkable person you've always been, setting the stage for a relationship that's built on mutual honor and love. Moving on to part 2, staying calm amid disrespect. When those moments of disrespect do arise, one of the most powerful steps you can take is to stay calm, a choice that can quietly transform how your children see you. It's natural to feel hurt or angry when your grown children interrupt you, dismiss your advice, or speak in a tone that makes you feel small. After all, you've given them so much, and you deserve to be heard. In those moments, your first instinct might be to snap back, to remind them of everything you've done, or to raise your voice to make your point. But reacting with anger often escalates the tension, leaving everyone feeling worse. Instead, imagine responding with a steady, calm presence, one that says you're unshaken by their words, because you know your worth doesn't depend on their approval. It's like being a lighthouse in a storm. Your light doesn't waver, no matter how the waves crash around you. When you stay calm, you're not just protecting your own peace. You're showing your children that disrespect doesn't control your emotions, which can make them pause and reflect on their behavior in a new way. You might take a deep breath, speak softly but firmly, and say something like, "I'd like us to talk when we can both be respectful." Then gently step away if needed, giving them space to think without fueling a fight. This kind of response doesn't demand respect. It earns it by showing that you value yourself enough to stay composed, setting the stage for a healthier, more balanced relationship as you move forward together. Now, let's explore part 3, saying no to overpleasing. As you practice staying calm, you might notice a habit that's been quietly undermining your efforts, trying too hard to please your children. A pattern that can make it harder to regain respect from children after 60. For years, you might have said yes when you wanted to say no, just to keep the peace, or gone out of your way to help, even when it left you feeling drained, hoping they'd appreciate your efforts. Maybe you've babysat the grandkids on a day when you weren't feeling well, or let a harsh comment slide because you didn't want to seem difficult, thinking that giving in would keep your family close. But the truth is, the more you bend over backward to make them happy, the less they might see your needs as important, not because they don't care, but because people naturally value what stands firm, not what always yields. It's like overwatering a plant. Your care can unintentionally drown it, leaving you feeling unappreciated and unseen. To shift this, start honoring your own limits, saying no when something doesn't feel right, and letting your children know that your time and energy are precious, just like theirs. You might gently explain, "I'd love to help, but I need to take care of myself today," showing them that you value yourself without guilt. This isn't about being unkind. It's about teaching them to see you as a person with your own needs, not just a parent who's always available. By stepping back from overpleasing, you create space for a new kind of respect, one that grows from seeing you as someone who knows their worth and isn't afraid to stand up for it, strengthening your bond in a way that feels true and balanced. Here's part 4, speaking up with clarity and care. Now that you're learning to value your own needs, you might find it easier to communicate effectively, sharing your feelings and desires in a way that invites understanding and respect from your children. It's easy to stay silent when they dismiss you, or to bottle up your hurt, thinking it's better to avoid conflict, but that silence can build walls, leaving your children unaware of how their actions affect you. Instead, speaking up with clarity and calmness can help them see your perspective, fostering a more respectful dialogue. Imagine sitting down with your son or daughter and saying, "I feel hurt when my advice is brushed off, and I'd like us to listen to each other more," using a gentle tone that shows you're open, not accusatory. It's like opening a window in a stuffy room. Your words let fresh air in, creating space for understanding. This kind of communication isn't about pointing fingers or demanding change. It's about sharing your truth, letting them know what you need, whether it's a kind word, a moment of patience, or just a chance to feel heard. You might also express what you'd like to see, like, "I'd really appreciate it if we could talk without interruptions," giving them a clear picture of how they can support you. By being honest about your feelings, you're not just asking for respect, you're modeling it, showing that your voice matters, and encouraging them to meet you with the same openness. This approach can soften their defenses, helping them see you as a person with emotions and needs, not just a parent, fostering a stronger, more respectful bond as you both learn to truly hear each other. Let's dive into part 5. Leading with calm confidence. With clearer communication opening the door to understanding, you might find it easier to handle moments of disrespect by stepping away from arguments and leading with calm confidence, a shift that can truly change how your children respond to you. When your grown children speak to you in a way that stings, maybe they interrupt you, roll their eyes, or dismiss your concerns, it's natural to want to push back, to raise your voice and say, "How can you talk to me like that after all I've done?" But arguing often turns small disagreements into bigger conflicts, leaving both sides feeling frustrated and unheard, with no real progress toward respect. Instead, imagine responding with a quiet strength, one that doesn't need to shout to be felt, showing them that their words can't shake your inner peace. You might calmly say, "I'll talk with you when we can both be respectful." And then step away, giving them time to reflect without adding fuel to the fire. It's like steering a boat through a storm. You don't fight the waves. You guide the ship with a steady hand, keeping your course. By refusing to argue, you're not giving in. You're taking control, showing your children that you don't need to match their tone to hold your ground. This calm confidence can catch them off guard, making them pause and reconsider how they speak to you, because it shows that your sense of worth isn't up for debate. Over time, they might start to mirror your steadiness, listening more and speaking more thoughtfully, not because you demanded it, but because your presence commands it, paving the way for a relationship built on mutual respect and understanding. Now let's talk about part 6, finding your emotional independence. As you lead with this calm confidence, you might discover the power of finding emotional independence, so you're not relying on your children to fill your heart, a shift that can strengthen how they see you. For years, you might have looked to your children for validation, waiting for their calls, hoping for their appreciation, or feeling a pang of sadness when they don't visit as often, tying your happiness to how much they show they care. But when your sense of worth depends on their actions, it can leave you feeling empty, especially if they're busy with their own lives and don't give you the attention you crave, making you feel more like a burden than a cherished parent. Emotional independence doesn't mean you stop loving them. It means finding your joy within yourself. So their approval isn't the only thing that makes you feel whole. It's like planting your own garden. You don't need someone else to water it for it to bloom. You nurture it with your own care, filling your days with things that light you up. You might start by rediscovering hobbies you love, like painting or reading, or spending time with friends who make you laugh, building a life that feels rich and full on your own terms. When your children see you thriving, not waiting for their attention to feel complete, they often begin to admire you more, drawn to your strength and vitality. This independence can shift the dynamic, helping you regain respect from children after 60, because they'll see you as a person with your own vibrant life, someone they want to connect with, not just someone they feel obligated to check on, deepening your bond in a way that feels natural and fulfilling. Let's move to part 7, living a life that inspires connection. Now that you're cultivating this emotional independence, you might find it easier to build a life of your own, one that makes you a source of inspiration rather than obligation, drawing your children closer in a new way. For so long, you might have put your family first, setting aside your own dreams to support theirs, waiting for the day they'd be settled so you could focus on yourself. But now, in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, it's time to rediscover what lights you up, whether it's joining a dance class, picking up a new hobby, or simply enjoying your mornings at your own pace. You might have thought your role was to always be there, ready to help. But when you pour all your energy into waiting for their attention, you might unintentionally fade into the background of their busy lives, feeling more like a duty than a vibrant part of their world. By creating a life filled with joy and purpose, like meeting friends for lunch, exploring a new interest, or taking that trip you've always wanted, you're not just filling your days, you're showing your children that you're a whole person with your own story, not just a parent defined by their needs. It's like becoming a magnet. When you shine with your own light, others are naturally drawn to you, wanting to be part of your warmth. They might start calling more, this not out of guilt, but because they're curious about your adventures, inspired by the way you're living so fully. This shift can deepen their respect as they see you not just as mom or dad, but as someone with depth and vitality, someone they admire for the life you've built, bringing you closer in a way that feels genuine and heartfelt. Here comes part 8, setting loving boundaries with strength. With a vibrant life of your own lighting the way, you might feel ready to set clear, loving boundaries, a practice that can teach your children how to treat you with the respect you deserve. For years, you might have let certain behaviors slide. Maybe they interrupt you mid-sentence, make decisions about your life without asking, or speak to you in a tone that makes you feel small, thinking it's easier to stay quiet to avoid conflict, or that your love means accepting everything they do. But when boundaries aren't defined, those actions can become habits, not because your children mean to hurt you, but because they've never been shown where the line is. Setting boundaries isn't about shutting them out. It's about showing them what you'll allow in your space, like drawing a gentle circle around your heart to protect its warmth. You might calmly say, "I'd like to finish my thoughts without being interrupted, and if that's hard right now, we can talk later," making it clear that your voice matters, while still keeping the door open for connection. It's like teaching a child to knock before entering a room. You're guiding them with love, not anger, helping them understand how to honor your presence. These boundaries show your children that your time and energy are valuable, not something they're entitled to take for granted. And over time, they'll likely adjust, speaking to you with more care because they see you as someone who values herself. This clarity can strengthen your relationship, creating a balance where love and respect go hand in hand, allowing you both to connect in a way that feels safe and meaningful for everyone. Let's explore part 9, forgiving with a strong sense of self. As you set these loving boundaries, you might find it helpful to learn to forgive your children for past hurts, while never losing sight of your own worth, a balance that can bring healing to your relationship. It's natural to feel a sting when you think about the times your children spoke to you unkindly, ignored your needs, or made you feel unappreciated. Those moments can linger, casting a shadow over your bond, making it hard to move forward without resentment. But holding on to that pain can weigh you down, keeping you stuck in a cycle of hurt. While forgiving them doesn't mean excusing their behavior, it means freeing yourself from the burden of anger, so you can approach your relationship with a lighter heart. You might reflect on a moment that hurt you, like a harsh word during a family dinner, and quietly say to yourself, "I choose to let this go because I deserve peace," releasing the resentment while still honoring your feelings. It's like clearing weeds from a garden. You're making space for new growth without forgetting the soil that keeps you grounded. At the same time, you can hold firm to your value, ensuring that forgiveness doesn't mean accepting disrespect, perhaps by gently reminding them, "I've let go of the past, but I expect us to speak kindly to each other now," showing that your love comes with standards. This balance can soften the tension between you, allowing your children to feel your warmth without taking it for granted, creating a relationship where healing and respect can grow side by side, rooted in the dignity you've reclaimed for yourself. Let's explore part 9, forgiving with a strong sense of self. As you set these loving boundaries, you might find it helpful to learn to forgive your children for past hurts, while never losing sight of your own worth, a balance that can bring healing to your relationship. It's natural to feel a sting when you think about the times your children spoke to you unkindly, ignored your needs, or made you feel unappreciated. Those moments can linger, casting a shadow over your bond, making it hard to move forward without resentment. But holding on to that pain can weigh you down, keeping you stuck in a cycle of hurt. While forgiving them doesn't mean excusing their behavior. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger, so you can approach your relationship with a lighter heart. You might reflect on a moment that hurt you, like a harsh word during a family dinner, and quietly say to yourself, I choose to let this go because I deserve peace, releasing the resentment while still honoring your feelings. It's like clearing weeds from a garden. You're making space for new growth without forgetting the soil that keeps you grounded. At the same time, you can hold firm to your value, ensuring that forgiveness doesn't mean accepting disrespect, perhaps by gently reminding them, I've let go of the past, but I expect us to speak kindly to each other now. Showing that your love comes with standards. This balance can soften the tension between you, allowing your children to feel your warmth without taking it for granted. Creating a relationship where healing and respect can grow side by side, rooted in the dignity you've reclaimed for yourself. Finally, let's wrap up with part 10, giving with limits and a grateful heart. With forgiveness and boundaries bringing new balance to your relationship, you might feel ready to address one final habit, giving endlessly without appreciation, a pattern you can shift to ensure your kindness is valued, not expected. For years, you might have given your all, helping with errands, lending money, or rearranging your life to be there for your children, because that's what love looks like to you. But when your efforts go unnoticed or they start expecting your help without a thank you, it can leave you feeling taken for granted, as if your generosity has become invisible. You might have dropped everything to babysit or fix something for them, only to feel a quiet hurt when they didn't acknowledge your effort, making you wonder if they see your love at all. To change this, start setting limits on what you give, not out of spite, but to teach them that your support is a gift, not a given. Perhaps by saying, I can help this time, but I'd appreciate some notice next time, showing that your time matters. It's like placing a price tag on a treasure. They'll value it more when they see it's not free. Let's reflect on the 9 steps we've explored, starting with self-respect, staying calm, saying no to over-pleasing, communicating clearly, avoiding arguments, finding emotional independence, building your own life, setting boundaries, forgiving wisely, and now giving with intention. Each step helps you rebuild a relationship where you're seen and respected. What's one change you'll make today? Maybe saying no to a request that feels too much, or sharing how you'd like to be appreciated. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts because your story matters. If this video helped, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Wise Wellness Path for more. Here's to a life filled with dignity, respect, and love in your golden years.